G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. I woke up really early once again this morning. I was really excited because I knew Sir Fozzie was gonna announce the All Blacks team today. So I went to the gym really early, got back home, and I waited in front of my computer for the announcement. I waited, and finally, Sir Fozzie announced the first 2022 All Black team. I clicked on that link, and I saw the selections, and I was confused. I was a little bit baffled. I was a little bit angry. I called my friend, right? I called Stu. I said, "Hey, Stu." I called him. Stu, did you see the All Black selection just came out? And Stu goes, mate, you know I don't watch rugby. I'm like, Stu, you have to check out this All Black selection. Like, what is going on here? He goes, dude, I watch AFL. I don't watch rugby, okay? I gotta go back to work. See you later, mate. I was like, no, dude, don't hang up. Check out this selection, man. So, yeah, if there's ever like stars aligning, that once in a lifetime opportunity, this is it. This is the opportunity for Ireland to beat the All Blacks at Eden Park. Yeah, I think this is there is some very questionable selections in this team in some very key areas of the game. I think Ireland has a real shot here at beating the All Blacks. Now, the All Blacks was hit with COVID, so a lot of the key players from the All Blacks team were not available. So obviously, Will Jordan, David Havili, and Jack Guhu were out due to COVID, and there's some talks that these players won't be able to play till the third test due to isolations and selection issues. So Brendan Enoch comes in, and also the coaching staff also were out. So Fozzie, John Plumtree, and Scott McLeod, they're all out due to COVID. They're not able to be present for the team. So as a result, Joe Schmidt, yes, Joe Schmidt, the former Irish head coach, steps in as basically the temporary head coach for the All Blacks at the moment. He was technically retired. He was contracted as like the selector for the All Blacks, so he's not completely out of the loop. He did work with the Blues as assistant as well all season, so he's not out of the loop for the All Blacks. But yeah, to be basically back in charge for the All Blacks team is pretty huge, especially someone who knows Irish side inside out. For the Irish team, there's a little bit of a concern with Cian Healy. He played the Maori All Blacks on Wednesday, and he looked like he rolled his ankle, and he's actually being named on the bench. Yeah. Now, King Healy normally only plays like 10 minutes for the Irish side. He only comes on really late. But if somebody gets injured in the starting team, he has to go on, then this could be a big risk. I mean, sure, I know like ankle injuries is one of those things that it could be like really bad initially, but you can pretty much recover pretty quickly. But still, I just find this really bizarre that he's even named on the bench to play against the All Blacks, no less. So, yeah, he's named on the bench. And so, yeah, with all that news in mind, yeah, the All Blacks selection had to make some adjustments. I feel like maybe the coaches made the selection like maybe a week ago, and they just went, well, we'll just chuck in a few players to replace the COVID. And yeah, so two things I noticed in this team that we're going to talk about first, and then we're going to go through the whole list. So first up, Scott Barrett at 6. Yes, we saw this, what do you call it, disaster in the 2019 Rugby World Cup against England. Scott Barrett at 6. He was outpaced at breakdown consistently throughout that game. The English had full control of the game due to their breakdown speed and being able to consistently turn over the ball at the breakdown. I just don't think Scott Barrett is much faster than he was in 2019. And I do think against a team like Ireland that has been known to be a team that thrives on that quick breakdown, having Scott Barrett at 6 is really not ideal. And also alongside of him, Sam Cane, he is also not quite in form at the moment. He is literally coming off the bench for the Chiefs. Yeah, he's a bench player for his club team. So for him to be starting at number 7, I do feel like this is also exacerbates the issue at the breakdown for the All Blacks potentially. And yeah, so that's the number one big red flag for me when I saw this list. I could not believe it. Fozzie, you know what they say, if something didn't work, try again. Oh no, what's the other one? If you do the same thing and expect different results, you have to be insane, right? Like this is just, yeah. So second up, obviously there was David Havili was out, so number 12 position obviously had to be a change, and I was really surprised they brought in Quinn Tupac at 12. Now the issue with Quinn Tupac is this: he's a really, really talented individual player. He has a lot of individual athleticism and talent, but him, even with the Chiefs, he's very clunky around other players. He tend to do what you might call it. He needs like more time to be around his team to kind of like get into the groove of the things for the players around him. And the concern for me is the fact that him and Bowden and Rico only have played with each other for about 30 minutes last year in the internationals against South Africa. He came on like late in the second half. So he hasn't really played around any of the players around him. So Faiga Nuku, Crusaders, Tupac has never played with him before. Bowden and Rico, maybe 30 minutes last year they played with each other. Aaron Smith was also in and out. So Aaron Smith didn't really play that much last year either. So Tupac hasn't played with Aaron Smith that much either. Sev Reese never played with, I don't even think he ever played with him before. Maybe a little bit, a few minutes last year. Jordy Barra saw maybe a few minutes. So his overall game time with the people around him is like less than an hour in total. So I just don't think that is a good idea to put him at 12. Especially with someone who's such an individual kind of player. I'm really concerned. And again, the Irish backline thrives on that speed. And they really like to run at a 10 and 12 channel. With the big forwards, fast ball, quick breakdown, build that momentum. I just don't think this is the right selection here. I do feel like putting RTS here at Eden Park, his home ground, next to the players that he knows, like Rico and Bowden, who he has played with all season with the Blues, is a much better selection at 12 here. And not to mention that, yes, Faiga Nuku gets the 11 jersey over Caleb Clark. I'm a little bit baffled again. Faiga Nuku is good, but the amount of game time, obviously he's debuting, and he does not have, if David Havili's playing at 12, I can see this making sense, but David Havili's not at 12. Richie Mo'unga is not at 10. I don't know why they put Faiga Nuku at 11 around a bunch of players that he's never played before. Only player he's ever played is Sev Reese. I just don't get it. Like, why? Why do you have a player on the field? He's literally never played with anybody. You could put me on the field and I will have the same amount of experience as him. Like, what? I don't get it. Like, this makes no sense. If he had Havili at 12, sure. This is why I feel like this selection was done like last week. If Havili was 12, Goodhue was 13, Sure, I can see Faganganuku 11, maybe even, you know, yeah. This is mind-boggling. I don't know what's going on here, and then I think I mean there is limitations, but to COVID, but I do feel like there's no brainer to just put Caleb Clark at 11, and then RTS at 12 for that whole Blues back line. The team that has been performing quite well throughout the Super Rugby season, and plenty of game time between the players. I mean, I'm baffled. I'm really, honestly baffled by these selections. Anyway, so let's go through the full lineup and see how everything matches up. So first up, in the loose end position, George Bauer comes in at 1. Andrew Porter comes back from injury. He missed out a couple of games in the Six Nations. He was really, really good against the All Blacks last year. His stats he was the best prop on the field on that day, better than Ty Furlong, despite all the talks about Ty Furlong. Andrew Porter had the better stats. Yeah, so Andrew Porter's back at number 1. Really, really, really important for the Irish side. He is, he is much more important than a lot of people give him credit for. George Bauer has a pretty solid season. He had his season last year wasn't that good, but his Crusader season is much more solid. It did look like he improved a bit, so I'm pretty happy for him to get this number 1 spot for the All Blacks. Cody Taylor comes in number 2. Cody Taylor has a bit of, throughout the season, he has struggled a little bit with his line out with Sam Whitelock. Every game, there's, just silly mistakes in the line outs, just not straight or, poorly coordinated, jumping. So that seems to be out of the way in the Super Rugby finals. So I'm hoping that he's going to keep that consistency from that Super Rugby final coming into this game. Because if he goes into this game and having one of the shockers where he misses out 2 lineouts because of he can't throw the ball in straight, this is going to be a bad day. But I have confidence in Cody Taylor to do well in big games like he showed in that Super Rugby final. So Cody Taylor comes in number 2. Dan Sheehan comes in at number 2 for the Irish side. For the tight head position, Ofa Tuangafasi comes in number 3. Tuangafasi has been incredibly good for the Blues. Really dominant scrummaging, something that the All Blacks kind of lacked a little bit last year, I felt like. So really having him back in the team was really, really, really good. He was dominant in the Blues scrums against just about every team in Super Rugby. So yeah, really, really good. And for him, he's not really a big ball runner like his opposite number here, Ty Furlong. But he just does all the basics super, super well, which is something that you just want from the tight end prop. Just physicality and being able to do the basics really well. So yeah, good to see him in number 3. Obviously, Ty Furlong, the guy that many people consider the best tight end prop in the world right now. Really good running game, good hands, just clinical execution in lineouts, and that scrummaging. Extremely good scrummaging. The Lions scrum, tight head, just ticks every box you could want from a tight head forward. And yeah, he'll have a really good battle with the New Zealand tight heads with New Zealand scrummaging this weekend. It's not gonna be. I think it's gonna be much closer scrum than it was last game in Ireland. In the locking positions, Brodie Retaley comes in number 4. Sam Whitelock number 5. The two I guess the most experienced combo for the New Zealand side, and Brodie Retallick, in my mind, has done really well this year. A lot of physicality, exactly what you wanted for this match. Sam Whitelock has a bit of consistency issues early in the season. In fact, all the way until the last game. In fact, Sam Whitelock did look a bit out of it, but he did play really, 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 really well in the Super Rugby final. That kind of brought me a lot of confidence in him back at number 5 jersey. So for the Irish side, Ty Burns comes in number 4. James Ryan, he did not play the game against New Zealand last in Ireland. I don't think he did, but he gets caught in, and I think he had an injury at there, but he gets caught in at number 5 jersey. It's good to see him back. For the loose forward positions, like we've already talked about, Scott Barrett gets number 6 jersey. I know Fozzie wants an extra line-out option. We saw one of the most important thing in terms of beating the Irish side. We saw Jake White coming up with the strategy against Leinster, which consisted like basically like a lot of the Irish internationals. Jake White's strategy was literally just slowing down the breakdowns, slowing down the game. And by controlling the game and controlling the set piece, also really dominant set pieces, controlling the game speed, controlling the set piece, he was able to really put the Leinster side out of their rhythm and eventually hold them off for a win. So a huge upset for the Bulls under the brilliance of Jake White. But I just don't think having Scott Barrett at 6 is going to give that same control at the breakdown that the All Blacks really wanted, to be really frank. Yeah, we'll have to see. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know your thoughts. I do think this is a really important part of the game, and I do think this is a big mistake. They should put Papali'i here, even at 7. But yeah, one of the guys needs to be a little bit more. Yeah. Anyway, I do see the logic that Fozzie have here for Scott Barrett. Extra lineout option. He's really good at lineouts, and also he's really like good defense. But I just don't think the breakdown speed is fast enough. Overall. So he's up as Peter Romani, who played on the bench against the All Blacks, comes off the 6th position. And Sam Kang gets the number 7 jersey, like I already mentioned, not really in form. Josh Van der Fleer, really in form for the Irish side. So he's going to be... Sam Kang going to have to step up quite a bit to match up with Josh in the number 7 spot, in the open side flanker spot. Adi Savia, probably the best of the loose forwards, coming in at number 8. Absolutely spectacular season for the Hurricanes. Physical, mongrel, exactly what you want for the number 8 position, and also basically doubles up as a line breaker in the backs. So yeah, exceptionally good to have Adi Savia number 8. Keelan Doris gets number 8 position for the Irish side over Jack Conan. I'm a bit surprised, but yeah, Keelan Doris gets number 8 jersey for the Irish team. The back line, we've already talked about some of the stuff as well. Aaron Smith comes in number 9. Not much else to say. Aaron Smith, solid, very solid player. His performance in the Super Rugby was a bit up and down, to be fair. Not as good as you probably want him to be. He probably is a little bit... Yeah, to be fair, the reserve for him, Fakitava, actually played better than him throughout the season. But just for someone for international rugby to tick all the basic boxes, Aaron Smith is a pretty good option at number 9. Jameson Gibson Parks gets in at number 9 for the Irish side. He played really well for Ireland last time against the All Blacks. During the Six Nations, his performance was okay. And I think he's similar to Aaron Smith, just ticks all the basic boxes. Nothing too fancy, and just gets the ball out quick and sends the ball to Johnny Sexton as accurately, as efficiently as possible. Beauden Barrett, Johnny Sexton. This was a matchup we kind of wanted to see last year. Beauden got hurt early in the game, got taken off like 10 minutes or 15 minutes into the first half, so I really didn't see much of him. But yeah, Johnny Sexton basically ran rampant last time playing the All Blacks. Just absolutely beautiful rugby to watch. So Beauden Barrett has actually taken a lot of time this year to improve on his game. And yeah, this will be a very interesting matchup to see. Beauden Barrett, his kicking game has developed. He's got a huge variety of different kicking options now for the Blues that he showed. High balls, long balls. And one of the keys to this game is Beauden's kicking game. And it's really about testing out Hugo Kinnan at a fullback position. Hugo Kinnan has showed a lot of weakness under the high ball, especially under pressure. In fact, the Leinster backline, which included Johnny Sexton and Hugo Kinnan, both struggled quite a bit with the kicking game against the Bulls. Yeah, so if Beauden Barrett wants to pull out a lot of unpredictable kicks, that is one of the things that the All Blacks has a huge advantage over the Irish side. So Beauden Barrett's kicking game will be very crucial in beating the Irish team this weekend. Fainga Anuku comes in at number 11. James Lowe at number 11 for the Irish side. Quincy Paya, the center combination. Quincy Paya, Riku Ioane. Two players hasn't really played with each other that much. I'm a bit concerned. Rico Ioane is absolutely electrifyingly good, but he does rely a lot on his teammates around him to give him that space and opportunity. Otherwise, he kind of just stands around. Yeah, so I don't know how this combination is going to work, to be honest. I don't think this is a good combination here. Robbie Henshaw and Gary Ringrose, two veterans for the Irish side. Gary Ringrose is probably the danger man for the Irish team. He's he's quite a good ball runner, Gary Ringrose. And he often finds himself in like a try scoring position in space and following a really fast breakdown. So yeah, this is something that they want. Bundy Aki gets on the bench, so this is a clear strategy that the Irish wants, just more speed around the park. Sever Reese comes in number 14. I'm pretty happy about this selection. He's been really well for the Crusaders. Just extremely agile. He was quite good, quite in form. Much better form than he was last year, to be fair. Keith Earls gets the 14 jersey for Ireland. Number 15, Geordie Barrett up against Hugo Keenan. This is one of the Irish weakness in the game. Hugo Keenan's not really that good on the high ball, to be fair, and his kicking game is also not that great. Geordie Barrett, on the other hand, extremely good on the high ball, extremely good kicking game, long range kicking as well. Also doubles up as a goal kicker for long range goal kicker. So that's definitely Geordie Barrett is like the biggest advantage for the All Blacks backline in terms of matchup. So him and his brother Beauden Barrett is probably the two biggest thing. If done properly, the kicking game between the two will be the key factor in helping the All Blacks winning the game on the weekend. Now let's look at the bench. Takiaho gets the hooker position on the bench. He has been really, really good for the Chiefs. I was hoping for him to get a starting position, but on the bench, I think it's good enough. Dave Hoffman gets caught in for... Hoffman gets caught in for... it's Hoffman or Hoffman? Anyway, he gets caught in for... Hoffman, I think. Gets caught in for Ireland. Carl Tudugafe, loose pro position for the All Blacks. Finlay Bellum, loose reserve for Ireland. Angus Tarbow gets a tight head position. Kean Healy, like we mentioned, a bit of ankle injury, still on the bench on the 18 jersey. Peter Gasoakula, this guy, I probably would have started him over Scott Barrett, to be fair. He had to be exceptionally good for the Chiefs, and yeah, good to see him finally potentially getting that debut off that bench. And he will be a really key player for helping the All Blacks win. He will be an impact player coming off the bench. He's up against Kieran Treadwell, comes in at number 19. Dalton Papali'i coming in at 20. I really felt like Dalton Papali'i should be the starting at number 7 jersey. He has been really good for the Blues. Much more higher work rate than Sam Cane. And also I felt like he's just faster around the park as well. He did so Dalton Papali'i gets number 20 jersey. Jack Conan on the bench on the 20 jersey. 21, Finlay Christie. This is the Blues halfback. I do feel like this will be a great opportunity to get Fakatava a go at number 21. He had been exceptionally good. By far the best reserve. Number 9 in New Zealand, coming off the bench for the Highlanders. And the Highlanders he's literally the one bright star for the Highlanders side every week. So I'm really disappointed to not see him here, number 21 jersey. But yeah, Fozzie, come on, mate. 21 for Conor Murray, the veteran for the Irish side. Richie Mo'unga gets number 22 jersey. Probably had a bit of stomach bug issue, like we mentioned, so he gets on the bench. Joey Carberry is on the bench, covering for Johnny Sexton at number 22. And Brandon Enor, after being called up to the team, comes in as a cover for the center positions. Comes in at number 23. And Bundy Aki, after playing on Wednesday, he gets the bit of rest on the bench, number 23. He did look a little bit out of form against the Maori All Blacks, I thought, but that's probably just because it was one of those games where he was kind of just like, yeah, let's just get this out of the way. But definitely looking forward for him to bring that physicality off the bench. And we'll see how this goes. So, that's my thoughts for this game. That's the players. If you want to get this thing that I've got over here and have a look at all the stats of the players, it's going to be in the description down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your predictions. I do think this is probably, if there's ever a opportunity for Ireland to beat New Zealand at Eden Park, I think this is it. I do think that the breakdown is a key area the Irish can win, which is something they want. They can get that quick ball to get that forward momentum, especially in that centre field position. I do feel like Quinn Tupaea is not going to be able to link up with the player around him. The cohesion is going to be lacking a bit there in the centre position. And I do think that the Irish backline links up much better than the New Zealand side. But the kicking game for Beauden Barrett, Jordie Barrett might play into the All Blacks' favour. That is a big but if they can get the ball from the forwards. So we saw this happen in the Blues where the forwards were not able to secure the ball, were not able to build that platform for the backs to work with. No matter how good the backline you have, it's not really gonna do much. So let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys this weekend for the review. Cheers.